Every step in this maze of life and death is now not just a game but a scripted revenge. Are you sure you're ready to return to the death arena? Where every rule can be broken with just a commanding smile from the handler, this is the final season of the circuit game, and if you think you know everything, you're dead wrong. Dongbei and Gihun are out of bullets, with no choice but to surrender to the Squid Game manager. But instead of shooting him, the manager points the gun at Dongbei, so he has to witness everyone he knows die. Because he is an important key, they don't kill him but control Gihun, so the counterattack becomes a waste. As for player 246 over here, he is still not dead. Soldier number 11, Noan, took action against him. But she only made player 246 unconscious. Suddenly today Noan is so determined, only acting enough to make the soldiers wonder. I don't know why she's coordinating the organ harvesting with them, she just said because they're on the same side. Gihun wasn't killed by the soldiers but was brought back to the dormitory. Meanwhile, on the ship, there's a commotion because the drone operator from 3 a.m. last night went missing after drinking. Captain Kim has no choice but to order everyone to return. Find another drone operator. After Gihun wakes up, he's confused by the chaotic scene around him. Where are the people who followed him? Huindu can only shake his head, asking where Dongbei is. The organization's people also returned to announce. Last night, 35 players died. The amount of money accumulated is currently 396 billion won. Continue with the vote. Gihun goes crazy and yells, asking the soldiers why they didn't kill him, why they let him live. Then he is controlled by the guards. Coincidentally, Captain Back calls to report to Hongyu. He already told everyone to go back. He wonders what to do in the worst-case scenario. Hongyu says he just needs to kill them all. Back to the vote, Gihun is helpless so he doesn't want to vote anymore. The number of players refusing is very small. It's clear they can't win against the continue at a play side. The manager also returns to report to the deputy commander. The riot last night caused damage to 8 managers and 27 soldiers. Because the VIPs are coming, the deputy commander asks to compensate them first, while Noan is being taken to the operating room. The soldier thought she wanted to follow him so he didn't suspect anything, even planning to ask Noan out on a date. Back to the vote, the result is as expected. The game continues to be played. Gihun is hated by player number 100 because of last night's riot. His rescue plan benefited them. So they're all happy as if it's Tet. Even the fortune teller number 44 joins in, but she almost gets strangled to death by him. That's what happens when a wizard doesn't know his limits, and player 246 is also taken to the operating room. The guy with Noan says this is her welcome gift. The others ask why, but Noan doesn't answer, only looking at player 246 who is unconscious, preparing for doctor number 16 to operate. She immediately picks up the gun, starting a massacre in this room, until she stands in front of the guy who led her there. Noan asks him if he knows why she came down south, simply because he looks a lot like her commander, and she's helping him out. Currently only doctor number 16 is alive. In order to save player 246, Noan forces him to operate and remove the bullet. However, after the surgery, player 246 loses a lot of blood, so he needs a blood transfusion. Noan doesn't hesitate to tell him to draw her blood, her hand not forgetting to point the gun at his head to prevent the doctor from harming her. Back to the dormitory. The mother and daughter of player 149 comfort Gihun. He has tried very hard to punish the bad guys to end everything. However, Gihun doesn't pay much attention to everyone's encouragement. The people who followed him could have lived, if that wimpy younger brother Diho wasn't cowardly and only knew how to hide at home. At night, Gusuk comes to meet Juno. The purpose is to tell him about what he suspects about Captain Park. And last night, when everyone was sound asleep, he said, "I just came out of the bedroom holding a screwdriver." Looking very suspicious, Juno thought he just heard a noise and wanted to check. Overnight, Gihun couldn't sleep while looking at that Diho sleeping soundly on the side of the deputy commander. They received the news that the VIPs had arrived. As everyone heads to the fourth game, what awaits them is the punishment for those who advocate for democracy. Disobeying the rules, seeing this scene only makes Gihun hate that Diho even more. Coming to the next game, each player will randomly receive a blue and red ball, divided into 2 teams. This game is called Hide and Seek. The blue team must hide until the countdown ends. If the red team catches them, the blue team will surely die. The mission of the red team is to find and kill the blue team. If they don't kill anyone by the time limit, they will surely die. Fate has it that Gihun is on the red team, and Diho is on the blue team this time. This younger brother surely can't escape. The blue team has one item, the key to open the door. The red team shouldn't object. How can they eliminate the blue team with bare hands? Of course, the organizers didn't forget this. They gave the red team a gift, an extremely sharp army knife. Player number 100, feeling disadvantaged, becomes upset. This is really unfair. One more thing, the organizers create a chance of survival for everyone, allowing the two sides to exchange items with each other, either becoming the hunter or becoming the hunted. Juno and his rescue team have also found the drone operator as they prepare to leave. Gusuk calls Juno again, warning him once more about Captain Park. But Juno still refuses to listen, because someone who saved him couldn't do something like betraying him. Out of options, Gusuk calls the gangster himself. Determined to find information about Captain Park, this younger brother doesn't believe in far-fetched suspicions. Gusuk tells about how he and his boss were shot dead by the recruiter, but first let's start the engine. Back to the fourth game. The fortune teller gathers the superstitious people. Performing superstitious rituals, just follow her instincts. And these people will surely live. Mr. Gu, worried about his ex-girlfriend, also fears that she's weak and can't kill anyone. He offers to switch positions with Junhee. As long as they switch, he will protect her and the child in her womb. The mother and daughter number 149 are also constantly worried. The mother wants to switch positions with her son, fearing that her son will be killed because he can't resist. Player number 100, who was just scolding Gahun yesterday, now wants to ask to switch with him, only to be scared away by Guyan's glare. What he cares about now is that traitor younger brother Diho, who is trying to beg others to switch sides but no one agrees, seeing the cold eyes looking at him. Diho gathers all his courage, coming in front of Gahun, but not to beg, but to scold. If he hadn't made that plan, surely no one would have died. It would have been better to fight the masked men that night. The chances of winning would have been higher thanks to these things. Diho has engraved his own name on the death list. Gahun will surely kill him no matter what, until the game takes place. The organizers give the blue team 2 minutes to hide. First, the mother and daughter player 149 and 7 have also switched positions with each other. The son promises to protect his mother well, and Junhee is also moved, exchanging shirts for Ungu, telling him to remember his promise to her, to protect the two mothers and sons well. After the countdown has 1 minute left, Namgu comes to Unga's side, telling him to cooperate with him, because surely the blue team will resist to the end. The countdown also ends. The hunters begin to enter the game. Gahun will surely chase after that. Diho, I love you so much, what to do now? After entering the chasing game, Ungu wonders what Namgu is biting. He says it's just something that makes him more confident and gives him more strength. After taking the drugs, he and Ungu went everywhere to search. Guyan's target was only aimed at the younger brother, Diho. Instead of finding a hiding place, the fortune teller used her courage, not relying on anything to find the way. Those superstitious people only know how to follow, not knowing their numbers are almost up. As for Hwindu and Junhee, she felt that the three of them were quite lucky because they had different keys, corresponding to the circle, square, and triangle on the doors, which would make it much easier to escape. Gahun is still trying to find Diho, but the person he caught wasn't him, but he was looking at him down there, no less nervous than Gahun. After searching for a while, Ungu and Namgu found the first person on the blue team, starting to rush in and tear apart the prey. Standing in front of a prey that only one person can pass through, Ungu blocked him. If they cooperate, both of them will have to deal with the target together. That's fair. Namgu also has to agree. This guy never lets himself be at a disadvantage. After both of them take half of each other's lives, Ungu takes the victim's key. Using this will quickly find the next victim sooner. His friend Minsu hates Namgu, but he also discovered his toy box. He decided to kill him to avenge the sister he likes no matter what. Hwindu's team on this side also encountered a murderer first. Because Junhee just tripped and couldn't continue running, Hwindu had no choice but to stand up and shield the two grandmothers and grandchildren, the murderer suggested. He suggested just letting him kill one person behind her. How could Hwindu agree? Having been a sergeant, Hwindu decided to fight this murderer to the end. To protect the two weak people behind, after a series of punches, the murderer was quickly defeated by the special forces skills in Hwindu's body. Namgu and Ungu on this side, after dealing with another person, the news about Ungu coming through also reached Junhee. She told mother number 149, just hoping he would keep his word, protect her and the child in her womb. However, after dealing with the second person, Namgu still doesn't want to stop here. He told Ungu, isn't it true that if you kill a few more people, the bonus will increase? Those who can't kill anyone will be dealt with. One job does two things and there's a lot more money. At first, Ungu was a little hesitant, but being a person who is easily fascinated by money, Ungu thought this idea wasn't bad. Guin on this side is still continuing to chase after Diho, but Diho is being chased by someone, slashing him in the leg. Luckily, this murderer is quite weak, being kicked once and dying young. Hwindu on this side, after finding a fairly kin room, put Junhee in and took off the shoe on her foot. The girl has severe sprains, Not to mention she's starting to leak amniotic fluid. Like that, still the Bafap Su on this side is leading her people to follow the spiritual call, looking more like gods. Because she just opened the door and immediately met two killing gods. She ran away immediately, leaving the remaining players to live or die. While running away, she also accidentally ran into Deho, who was injured. Continuing on, she immediately met Gihun, the person she had mocked, standing in front of a madman, and she still jumped. What can Bata do if she scolds Gihun? Seeing him getting closer, she begged, saying she had seen Deho injured outside. He just succeeded in making Gihun chase after someone else, saving one familiar life and moving a distance. In front of the fortune teller are all assassins turning back. You can see another player from the red team, but it seems like he's high. He asks the fortune teller if she has seen a short-haired girl named Semi. But just as she escaped into the room, the fortune teller luckily discovered the escape route. But the condition to be able to escape is that 3 different keys are needed to open it. So in order to escape, she went to find the murderers to find different types of keys. Player number 100 is trying to find an exit when he hears Namgu singing. Afraid that he would be killed, he rushed to the side of another player, smeared blood on his face and pretended to be dead. The player next to him was just shaken by him and then stabbed once. When it was his turn, Ungi fortunately called this crazy name again, which allowed this old man to keep his chest-like life. However, when someone else comes, he pretends to be dead. Unexpectedly, it was the fortune teller who was collecting keys, so the two of them led each other to the exit. He wondered why she could find the way. Then she played the crazy and ghostly trick again, thanks to the gods that she was able to find that escape place. Junhee's child was also born. She hugged the child in her arms. She couldn't help but feel touched that her child was still safe. But the noise was too loud, causing a murderer to discover the 3 of them. He rushed up and wrestled with Huindu, stabbing her several times. Although injured, Huindu still tried to fight him back, sending him to heaven immediately. After this one, another one comes. Seeing that Huindu looked a bit tough, player 39 seemed a bit scared. Forget this one, find another one. She also discovered that this room had an escape route. Just as she happily went to tell Junhee and Grandma 149, she was stabbed in the back by Ong Ghi repeatedly, seeing his lover in front of him. Seeing his wife and children in front of him, Ong Ghi realized that he had killed his wife's lifesaver. But for his wife to live, he also dragged that Namju name to another place. The mother approached Huindu's body, only hoping that she could rest in the afterlife. Because this world is too harsh for her, Gihun, after chasing the blood trail for a while. Deho is likely to be here, but the blood trail stops in the middle of the staircase. Gihun slowly approached the door, finding the betrayer Deho hiding inside. At this moment, Deho revealed that his story of being a marine was fake. He only thought that following Gihun would guarantee survival, and he initially begged. But when Gihun pressured him, wanting to kill him but unable to, taking advantage of his inattention, Deho turned the tables and slashed at Gihun. He said that these things weren't his fault. Gihun had tricked everyone to win alone. He cursed at Gihun, driving him crazy. He was going to spare him, but now he's changed his mind. Gihun will deal with this younger brother thoroughly. The delusional fortune teller, after leading player number 100 to successfully open the escape route, thinking that she could escape from here, but she was backstabbed by number 100. Taking away the escape key. Behind her, Mince's voice rang out. A person obsessed with the idea that Namgu would kill Semi. She saw him being high, coming and cursing. This Minsu should have died a long time ago. She didn't know that in Mince's eyes, she was Namju. She was stabbed and went to heaven. Crazy people like that should have died a long time ago. Minsu again recognized that it was Semi. He continued to go crazy. It's not my fault for killing her. The grandmother and grandson Junhee, after reaching the exit, the chain-smoking son also arrived, crying to his mother that he would die because he couldn't kill anyone. He lost control, seeing Junhee as prey for him to survive. Just killing her, he can survive and leave here. Not caring about right or wrong, he rushed forward, intending to kill Junhee but being distracted by the baby's voice. The mother, to protect 2 small lives, took action against her own son. Just like that, time ran out, and the soldiers used the red line to execute. As for Gihun on this side, after chasing Deho for a while, the ending for those who betray their brothers is facing death. The two wrestled for a long time, but because Deho was injured in the leg, lost quite a lot of blood so he couldn't resist Gaian's strength, being strangled to death by him. The second game ended just like that. The VIPs at this time also transformed into soldiers, directly holding guns to hunt those who couldn't complete the game. But one person was restrained by someone from the red team. Fortunately, he was assisted by another VIP, saving his life. The VIPs have officially arrived on the island where the Squid Game is held. Back to the dormitory. The guy Namju, because he couldn't find his box of belongings, immediately ran to the guards, asking them to let him return to the game area, to find his belongings again. However, the players who left there couldn't return. He was immediately restrained, almost shot to death. The two grandmothers and Junhee hobbled along, carrying Junhee's child back, making Ong Gai's heart feel somewhat relieved, because his ex-wife and child are still okay. Meanwhile, in the operating room, after player 246 woke up, no one let him wear the soldier's clothes, instructing him to listen to her if he wanted to live. The Squid Game organizers began announcing the results of the fourth game. 35 players were eliminated in this round. The prize money has reached 431 billion won, meaning each person can take home 1724 billion won. After acting as a soldier, the VIPs felt extremely happy. Completely different from chasing wild animals in Africa to hunt. The manager outside also received news of losing contact with the operating room. He quickly sent people down to check. The current VIPs are very excited about this year's election. Regardless of the screen, the VIP felt that this year was more interesting and killing than last year. After a while of voting, Namgil was scared and didn't want to continue playing. How could Minsu let him get his wish? He chose to continue playing to avenge Semi. Kill Namgil, mother number 149 from after losing her son. She didn't want Junhee and her child to suffer the same fate as her. Went to beg the remaining players to stop this game. As long as everyone wants to, she will give everyone all her money. But no one wanted to listen to her. Crying is also useless. After going down to the operating room to check, the soldiers only found numbers 11 and 16 missing. That number 16 was helped by no one to disguise player 246, to let him return to the soldiers' room. The results of this vote were not much better. Due to the numerical advantage on the side of continuing, the next game will also take place tomorrow. The VIPs felt excited about player 149 begging everyone just to save a child. But she killed her own son. The soldiers reported back to the manager. They investigated the missing identities in the operating room. It's number 16 and number 11. But through the surveillance camera, number 16 has returned to the room. Looks a bit suspicious. But because number 11 hasn't returned to the room, the manager sent people to find out where number 11 is and report back to him. However, he won't need to search anymore, because no one is here pointing a gun at the manager's face. She requests the manager to prepare a way for her to escape from here. Then she won't interfere with the manager's organ trafficking anymore. She threatens him that if she disappears, it will definitely benefit the manager more. The search team that Juno brought along has found an island that looks quite familiar. Juno realizes that he seems to have been here before. At night, mother number 149 can't sleep after the pain of losing her son. She talks about how she personally killed her own son. This world is so unfair. People who do bad things but blame others and continue to live peacefully. The opposite of good people. They only know how to blame themselves and be pitiful. She is talking about Jongsik being a very timid person because he bankrupted the company in the past. Then went to borrow money and was beaten by the owner. All the injustices fell on her son, making her extremely heartbroken. Jongsik also once sought out medicine to commit suicide, so that Junhee and her child wouldn't have to face those injustices. She asked Gihun for something, asking him if he could help the two mothers and children leave here, because that child is innocent. No one after making a request to the management. She was also given a key to leave this place. However, the manager still suspects something is wrong. He asks everyone to return to the operating room. After the soldiers arrive at the operating room, scanning the body lying on the operating table, they discover it's number 16. Now the manager knows that no one switched clothes with player 246. So why does no one want to save this player 246? At midnight, Woosuk and his younger brother also arrive at Captain Park's address. Woo-suk tells his younger brother to stay in the car. He takes the gun of the person who killed his boss and starts breaking in. As soon as he jumps in, he encounters a pretty fierce dog. Luckily, it's chained. So he also starts breaking into the house to search for information. After a while of rummaging, Woo-suk discovers that this guy and the one who killed his boss are in cahoots. The dog outside has also broken its chain. Woo-suk is pounced on by it, pinning the gun down and biting. Luckily, there's the recruiter's gun. Woo-suk also sends the dog to hell before its owner. After disposing of the dog, Woo-suk runs outside. He discovers something under the cage. He approaches it. Opening the lid, inside is all money. Next to it is the uniform of the soldiers in the Squid Game. But before he can do anything, he is subdued by the police. At midnight, when Gi-hun wakes up, the guards bring a coffin. It turns out that after asking Gi-hun to help Jun-hee, the mother committed suicide because she had no purpose to live for anymore. It's true that good people can never live in peace in this world. Ong-gai's eyes show that he has to protect his ex-wife at all costs. On to the next game. Gi-hun offers to help Jun-hee. He tells her she might accidentally hurt her child. So Jun-hee agrees to give her child to Gi-hun. Seeing player 222 has a child, the VIPs are extremely excited about this fifth game. What can she do to overcome a difficult game like the fifth one? Jun-hee tells Gi-hun she doesn't want to leave her child in the dormitory, because she's afraid if she leaves her child behind, she will be lonely. Just having her child by her side, Jun-hee thinks she will be happier. But it's because of me that the old lady and Sister Hwindu didn't make it. Gi-hun encourages her, don't blame yourself. Everyone makes their own choices. No one will regret that. He says he also has a daughter, but he has never been a good father. The time watching his daughter being born and growing up was the happiest time for him. So he promises Jun-hee he will protect the two mothers and children to the end because he understands how it feels. On to the next game. This game is called rope jumping. Everyone will have to cross a broken bridge. Then the VIPs start betting with each other. Someone had accidentally placed a bet on player 222 before. Just because he feels high risk means things will be more interesting. If player 222 can turn into a Marvel superhero because of this, then this is truly a miracle. Indeed, the players participating in this game are no different from entertainment for the super rich. In the fifth game, everyone only has 20 minutes to cross the bridge. Anyone can go first. When the game starts, the hard steel rope keeps spinning in circles, making the other players start trying to time it and jump. Gi-hun will volunteer to go first, but a soldier tells all the players to cross the bridge. Even the newborn baby in Jun-hee's arms. Just being here is already considered a player. The VIPs are even more excited, constantly cheering for Jun-hee. Do what you can because everyone is pushing too much. Jun-hee, wanting her child to be safe, asked Gi-hun to carry her child first. Min-soo comes to Namjae's side, asking if he's okay. It's obvious he needs something. It's Thanos' candy bar stand. So he starts begging Min-soo to avenge Semi. Min-soo threw the medicine box onto the bridge. If you want to take drugs that much, go get it yourself. What's wrong? Are you scared? Because the drug craving has reached its peak. Namjae uses all his strength, rushing to the front just to pick up the medicine box. Everyone is extremely nervous, until Namjae gets the medicine box. But when he opens it, it's completely empty inside. That's also when he's knocked down by the steel wire. Falling down into the abyss, it's just the beginning, but the VIPs already feel this game is good. Having avenged Semi, Min-soo also feels a bit relieved. It's Guyan's turn. He holds the baby in his arms again, saying he will go over there first and then come back to pick up Jun-hee later. The VIPs are now going crazy. I wonder why someone who had won a game would participate again. They see Gi-hun as a madman. But the VIPs don't know that Gi-hun returning and participating in this game is to stop everything. To the middle of the bridge. Gi-hun has some difficulty, but he overcomes the first difficult milestone. The VIPs keep cheering him on. For 56, Ko-len, go for it. That's right, baby, you can do it. After a struggle, Gi-hun successfully crosses the bridge, causing the morale of those behind him to increase. The VIPs are extremely excited. There's only 12 minutes left. Gi-hun tells her to just wait for him, as long as those people all cross. But when one more person crosses the bridge, he acts up again, pushing others into the abyss just because he wants more money. Time to play the game. Every time a person jumps, he kicks that person into the abyss. The game is over, you stupid fools. The race is getting more interesting. Everyone is quite tired and can't jump anymore. Player number 100 intends to bribe the person in front of him, telling Min that he will help him block the player behind. Those behind them start to get scared, turning back to the shore behind them. But when he just got back to the shore, player 349 was kicked down by someone else. For money, these people can do anything. Emin-su decides to chew the last piece of candy to gain strength. The rope is getting faster and faster. Gi-hun threatened the guy that if he kept blocking people, he would push him down from behind. That made him scared and step aside. What he's more worried about right now is Junhee. It's difficult for her to overcome this game. Ong Ji-ai wants to pull her along, but she doesn't want to. Junhee blames Ong Ji-ai for laying a hand on Huizhu last time. Or was he blinded by money that he did that? It was Huizhu who saved Junhee and her child. Ong Ji-ai's sweet words can no longer move Junhee now, because with her current leg, he can't carry her. While they were arguing, player number 96 went crazy, calling Gi-hun to come to the bridge. He had no choice but to poke his eyes, push him behind, and then he was knocked down into the abyss by the steel wire. Everyone starts crossing the bridge. Ka Emin-su, because he had a little drink, started to feel happy because of this game, instead of being scared, because everyone is wasting too much time. Only Junhee is on the other side. There's only 1 minute left. Junhee doesn't want him to come over because she has also decided her fate, only hoping that Gi-hun can continue to take her child and live on. Then she chose to commit suicide in front of Gi-hun. Noan, after getting the boat key, left the island. She took number 246 through the outside patrol schedule, successfully to the boat that was prepared to leave this ghostly place. After the 5th game, the VIPs then discussed whether or not to eliminate player 222's child. Some commented that player 222's child should also die with her mother, because keeping him is useless. Because of disagreements among everyone, the VIPs asked the host for his opinion. To increase the drama of the game, the host decided to treat player 222's child as a proxy. That way the game will be much more interesting. Currently, the players are starting to discuss with each other. Only 8 people survived the previous game, so the money will be around 56 billion won per person. 2 players, 336, discussed with player 353 to advise the others to vote to cancel it, because 56 billion is enough to pay off all debts. At this time, the organizers entered, announcing to everyone that there are currently 9 survivors with an amount of 49 billion won per person. Everyone immediately wondered. Clearly there are only 8 people now, where did 9 come from? The new soldier pointed to player 222's child. It is also counted as a player and owns a reward of 49 billion. So the surviving players planned to eliminate the child in Gaian's hands, until the organizers opened fire. From now on, to be fair to each player, a rule not to harm other players has also been established. Plus, to show appreciation to the players, each person will have a special gift. Gusuk, after being taken to the police station for being suspected of being a thief, he claimed that he went there just to catch a criminal who was illegally organizing deadly games on an island somewhere. It's just that the police don't believe him. They also found a bunch of Gusuk's crimes in the past. With this number of crimes, the number of years in prison can be counted on 2 hands. Even if Gusuk brought out the photo with the recruiter's name, it's just that he doesn't know his identity, so it's also useless in front of the police. Juno on the boat is still discussing with everyone about finding the island where the game is held. Juno is planning to split everyone up to find the surrounding islands. Then Captain Park suddenly crossed out an area, saying that this area is often patrolled by the Coast Guard, and also often encounters the smuggling boats of the Chinese people. Juno also doesn't have any doubts, decides to follow Captain Park's advice. The police at the same time want to call Captain Park to inform him that his house was broken into. Gusuk also frantically tries to stop the police, but it's too late. The police have called Captain Park, informing him that his house was just broken into by a thug. Captain Park is still calm, asking what the name of this person is. Hearing the name Choi Gusuk, he is shocked. However, tells the police that he doesn't know him. Gusuk sees that his investigation into Captain Park has been exposed. He begs the police for a long time before being given the phone to make a call.
Ca liên thành cha hoang.
telling him that Captain Park is the one related to the Squid Game. While Juno is still in shock, Captain Park has called his people in Team 2. Execute all those on that team. We've been exposed. Captain Park is also not free. Seeing those mercenary names that he doesn't tolerate. Pointing the gun straight at each of their faces. Hearing gunshots go off. Now Juno sees that this is quite serious. Luckily, there was a grappling hook gun nearby. So Juno also used that gun to shoot Captain Park to death. He asks the captain what his real identity is. He's just someone who follows orders. He should have died a long time ago. After saying that, he immediately stops breathing. Back to the game area. The current players have received a gift from the organizers, which is being able to freely enjoy any kind of luxurious food they want. Even the newborn child of player 222 is served warm milk. The VIPs are now a little worried, because the players currently have a considerable amount of money. Afraid they won't want to continue the game anymore. The host reveals until the vote. These people will continue for one reason. When the organizers start preparing to announce the new game, they reveal that this game only requires voting to eliminate someone. At least 3 out of 9 people everyone can win. Take the money and leave here. Turns out that the final game has a choice. Hitting on the psychology that they can definitely win, so the players will definitely be tempted. Hearing that they only need to choose 3 people according to the majority's decision. Each of them is extremely eager. Gahan is the first to choose. He is still like from the beginning until now, choosing not to participate. The other players see the pile of money. Inevitably blinded by greed, they choose to continue playing the final game. Player 222, being a child with no ability, will be considered a blank vote by everyone. Just as the host predicted, the current players are very confident, because the ones who will be eliminated here will be Gahan and the child in turn. And finally, the addict named 125, player number 100 who owes people money, thinks that he will definitely win this time. Stands up, raises his glass, congratulates everyone, and tells them to try their best to play the final game, then leaves this hell on earth. The VIPs also have to admit that the host is truly skillful. As for what the final game is, it will be revealed to the VIPs tomorrow. So today, the VIPs decide to drink all night. Juno after checking around. Luckily, Captain Kim is still alive because he was only grazed in the leg. Juno still begs Captain Kim, hoping he can help him. Captain Kim is curious about what he wants to find on that island. Only then does Juno reveal it. He wants to find his brother again, to stop that Squid Game. If he doesn't try this time, there will definitely not be another chance to find him again. Noan and player 246 after leaving the boat in the early morning. The deputy manager calls Noan, asking how far she can run with that boat. After investigating, the deputy manager also knows that there is a player on the boat. According to the rules, no player can be taken out of here. He even provides information about player 246, whose name is Park Gunsiak. There's a daughter who is sick and being treated at Seoul National University Hospital. To be able to handle everything properly for player 246, Noan decides to turn the boat back. She has to go find the deputy manager, to make him delete all the evidence about player Park Gunsiak. After eating and drinking well, the players start discussing the game for tomorrow. Just need to eliminate one person each round. First is player 125. Then it's Gahan and finally the child 222. Can be said that the organizers let the child become a player. It becomes an advantage for the bad people to take advantage of. After Noan returns to the island, she tells 246 to drive the boat north. When you reach the shore, report this place to the police. After saying that, 246 turns around and leaves, but he doesn't know that his boat has been tagged with a tracker. The deputy manager orders people to kill both of them. As for Noan, after arriving on the island, she decides to climb the cliff and break in through the ventilation duct. Gahan is about to rest. He is called to the room of the host. The leader tells Gahan to sit down and talk, because tonight will be long. Gahan talks about why the organizers want Junhee's child to become a player. Those money grubbers will surely kill that child for money. It's not guilty of anything, but that's the purpose of the organizers. He gives Gahan a knife, telling him that he can eliminate those people to win. The organizers will not stop him either. Then the leader takes off his mask, making Gihun surprised that he didn't think of it. Now the person next to him is the host of this Squid game. Even if Gihun wants to kill the leader Dong Yao, this can't change anything. Someone else will take his place. Then Gihun will have to fight those people again. Dong Yao promises Gihun, just take care of the people down there. Then he will make an exception for Gihun and the child to win. Or else tomorrow Gihun will be chased by those people again. Back to the room. Seeing these people sleeping, Gihun gradually walks over. First is player number 100, who is snoring. The leader's Dongjio's purpose this time is to make Gihun become a person like he once was. Turns out that in the past, Dong Yao also participated in the Squid game, and was also given the same offer. And he chose when everyone was sleeping. He killed all the others. He wants that past to happen again. Wants Gihun to become someone like him back then. To become a new host. However, the past wakes up. Gihun decides that he will not do anything against his conscience. The next day, Juno also took the boat to the 2 islands he suspected. Suddenly, the walkie-talkie rang with a call. It's Juno's brother. He warns him not to continue searching for this island, because then he will definitely die. No one also broke back into the game organizer's area, to the deputy manager's room. No one forced him to delete all the evidence of information about player number 246. Because he was threatened, he complied. However, no one couldn't deal with him right away because there was still a hard copy in the commander's room. Because he was being controlled. He had no choice but to listen to no one and take her there. When he just pressed the floor number, the manager was determined to fight back, not letting no one achieve her wish. Gihun and the other players have arrived at the location of the final game. This place looks quite majestic, with 3 towers symbolizing the Squid game. Everyone goes through the elevator, up to the top of the first tower. No one on this side is also not free. She and the manager wrestled in the elevator for a long time. Specifically, 5 minutes to the main control room. She was also pushed out by him and he said to no one. She used to work in the same place as player 246. Does she have feelings for him or something? No one told him. If 246 dies, the child in the hospital will definitely die too, and she doesn't want that. He immediately scolded no one. Does doing that make you feel less guilty about abandoning your child at the North Korean border? Absorbed in scolding no one, he immediately lost his guard. She grabbed a knife and stabbed him tightly. However, a woman's strength is not equal to a man's. The manager once thought she was special just because she was North Korean. But there's no shortage of people like Noan. After saying that, he stabbed Noan in the stomach. Suddenly, the control room called, telling him to come to the control room quickly. The deputy manager told them to start the game, then lit a cigarette, and told Noan not to worry about other people anymore, but to reunite with her child. He probably doesn't know in the Tom and Jerry movie. Tom always smokes a cigarette before knowing he's doomed, and so is he. Noan got the gun in the elevator, and riddled him with countless lead candies. At this time, the rules of the game were also announced. At each tower, the players will have to push someone into the abyss to get to the next tower. Similarly with the triangle and circle towers at the end. Just push one person down at each tower and everyone can leave with a total of 6 people. The VIPs are really looking forward to it. Let's see, the addict number 125 is definitely the first one. Number 125 is hallucinating at this time. Meeting Thanos hanging and calling him again. Bro, I miss you so much. Help me, Minsu. I'll give you this medicine. Just as he reaches for the gun, Minsu imagines that Nam-gil is also clinging to him, as if foreshadowing that Minsu will be the first to die. He just kicks into the air imagining that it's Thanos and Nam-gil to start the game. The players on the podium must press the button and the time starts counting down. Player number 100 repeats the plan from the previous day. Only eliminate one person each round and the first one to be eliminated will be decided by voting. Then this group looks at Gihun. It's probably most reasonable to eliminate number 222 first, because she was eliminated a long time ago. Everyone seems to agree with this idea, but Gihun doesn't. He stops everyone, because if they eliminate 222 first, they will also lose Gihun. He definitely won't let go of the child. So everyone's attention is shifted to a foreign guy. That's the drug addict, Minsu. Letting this guy go first is also an early release for him. It's not too late to figure out how to separate Gihun from the child in the next round. Everyone votes after hearing that. As a result, not surprisingly, everyone starts to put pressure on Minsu, a small person. Just to avenge his sister, he has to go to this dead end. His fate cannot escape death when he has no support. No one dares to rush up to push him down, afraid that they will be dragged along. The VIPs also admit that these guys aren't stupid. Gi-hun sees the pole and suddenly tries to remove it. So there is the first thing to push him down without worrying. Until the end of his life, Minsu still imagines Yasumi in front of him. Before he dies, she comes to him in a dream. At least he died in his own happy emotions. The time for the first round is also over. No one has also found the warehouse where the files of the players participating in the Squid Game are stored. Everyone starts moving to the second round. The VIPs can see that Gi-hun and the child are the targets to be eliminated. However, he is a madman. Some VIPs guess that he won't be easily eliminated. To round 2. Player number 100 asks for everyone's opinion. Everyone thinks the child should be eliminated first. They start reasoning, talking about how a child without a mother should just die. Just have Gi-hun hang the child on the pole and let them drop him down. But the more they threaten Gi-hun, the less afraid he is. Because if he dies here, there's no guarantee he won't take the child with him. He tells the guy holding the pole, when he and the child fall, is he sure he won't be the next one? If you dare, push him. It seems like they are discussing behind that guy's back. The guy with the pole starts hesitating. He thinks Guyan's words are quite right, just hesitating a little bit, and player number 203 already wants to argue with him. The two start arguing and almost fight. Ong Jhi says he has an idea that is the safest. That is to play rock paper scissors, to see who will be the leader to remove Gi-hun and the child. So after deciding, player number 336 is the first leader, in charge of removing Gi-hun from the child. This group doesn't know that he still has the knife that Dong Yao gave him from the previous day. He rushes towards Gi-hun, but Gi-hun uses the knife to cut his shirt and puts it to his neck. The reversed situation surprises everyone. Gi-hun takes this opportunity to rush up, but his purpose is to push 336 down. He also turns against the group, because the child that Gi-hun is holding is his child. The VIPs just started discussing and they've already broken the deal. Indeed, words are just wind. Now the situation is leaning towards Gi-hun and Eungi. Player 100 has no choice but to tear his shirt, drawing lots to see who will fall next. That's both fair and impartial. However, Eungi doesn't agree because there are more people on that side. No one knows who will turn their back. When the VIPs found out that Eungi is the child's father, they burst out laughing. Unexpectedly, a game also has the convergence of a family of 3. It's like watching a reality family show. Gi-hun doesn't know how he can trust Eungi. He just said that since the 5th game he wanted to take Junhee's child away from here. Gi-hun remembers and finds it true. Currently, he has many choices, so he also wants to protect the baby. Suddenly, those 4 guys corner one guy, taking him as a pawn for the 3rd round. That's what everyone wants. No one has to sacrifice much. The VIPs also have to admit that these guys' brains chose a good pawn. However, who knows if this player number 100 will keep his intentions. Gi-hun is still pointing a knife at him. This is not the way to get through the game. But how does number 203 struggle? He makes the knife stab himself and falls asleep immediately. Number 353 also puts himself in a disadvantageous situation. Just falls off the cliff and dies. As for Noan, after entering the commander's warehouse, she found the files of player 246 and herself. And 246 on the way to escape is also chased by the soldiers. They want to kill him at all costs. While counterattacking, 246 is also out of ammunition, so he can't do anything next. Just as he was closing his eyes waiting for death, gunshots rang out from elsewhere. It turned out that Juno's ship had also arrived. Currently on the triangle field, there are only 5 people including the child. Now they just need to go to the other side next. Throw that pawn down and everyone can take 114 billion.
Ongi S blindek be money again.
Because pushing this player number 100 down will increase the bonus. When he pushes him down, he himself didn't expect that the pawn was not someone who would accept fate. Knowing that he would die anyway, he decided to jump off the cliff himself. Should he have listened to player number 100 and gone to the other side, wouldn't it be great now? On the field, There are only 3 people left: Gahun, child number 222, and Ungi, 246. After being identified, Juno really believed that he was the player who escaped from that island. He asked 246 where that island was. In the 3rd round of the final game, seeing Ungi point the iron bar at him, he would definitely have to choose to keep his child or himself, because Gahun was determined not to let go. Because he didn't want to die because of Ungi's greed, he didn't trust him. When handing the child over to him, the notification started to appear. Gahun only had 5 minutes to run to the opposite side. All the VIPs thought that 333 would win because he looked quite safe, knowing after finding all the documents of the other players. She decided to pour all the wine on the piles of papers in the warehouse, destroying all the information that the commanders had collected. At the control room, the soldier reported. Realizing that a strange boat was slowly approaching the island, Captain Kim called the police. In just 2 hours they would quickly arrive. Juno was also determined to go to the island where the game was held alone. Captain Kim worried, asked him if he was okay. Juno was determined after this case, he would take all responsibility. Ungi and Gahun are still arguing about him not giving the baby, saying that last time he could live to the end of the game, it was because he exploited the psychological manipulation of everyone. To be more precise, it was Ungi who put all 3 in a dead end. If he hadn't been greedy, now all 3 would have a way to live for themselves. Seeing that time was running out, Gahun carefully tied the child, slowly pushed him to Ungi and then backed away. When he got the child and the bridge retracted, Gahun pulled out the knife from the player he stabbed, then timed his jump to the 3rd tower. If he didn't go, he would definitely die, and so would the baby. Because the rule is to stand on the tower in a circle, one person must fall into the abyss. The 2 began to fight, almost both fell into the abyss. Seeing that he was at a disadvantage, Ungi took the child out to threaten Gahun. He didn't want to protect the child from the beginning, but wanted to use it to win the game with 456 billion won. Gahun had no choice but to put the knife down, then rolled the shirt into his hand. When the 2 continued to fight, both fell into the abyss, but Gahun managed to hold on. The shirt could not hold Ungi's weight. Now it's too late for him to regret it. The VIPs are half-hearted because no one has ever won twice. But number 456 seems to be the first to do that. However, the start button has not been pressed. Ungi's death seems to have been meaningless. Gahun didn't think much and started pressing the button. He took the child into his arms for the last time, as if thinking about his daughter abroad. The VIPs and Ranjio didn't expect that Gahun would choose to let the child live. He gently kissed the child. "I'm not a horse, I'm a human," he said, and fell into the abyss himself, to the surprise of those who were called VIPs. The legendary player 456 was eliminated like that. The Coast Guard quickly found Juno's ship, and he successfully broke into the island. No one a few minutes ago was still wanting to commit suicide because she had no reason to live, but when she saw Gahun choosing to commit suicide just to protect a newborn baby, she seemed to be enlightened by him. This sacrifice seemed to save Noan's decaying soul. Because the Coast Guard ship was approaching, all the staff stopped opening their work, gathered at the evacuation point, and the self-destruction countdown timer was also set. The game has ended. Juno also discovered that this place was being set with a time bomb. However, he still didn't give up and climbed up. Ranjio came to Gahun, as if giving him a most respectful farewell. Then he went to the child 222. Juno also reached the highest floor of the game area, saw his brother holding the child number 222. But when he saw his brother holding the child, Juno couldn't do it. That's how the brother disappeared in front of his younger brother, without a word of explanation. The Squid Game organization's troops gathered on a large boat. Leaving the island where this game took place, the countdown time was only 30 seconds left. Each area and corridor gradually darkened. A Squid era ended in a large explosion. At Guyan's hotel at this time, someone broke into his house, taking all the remaining money that he left in the hotel. 6 months later, player 246 returned to normal life with his daughter, with Noan by his side. Soldier number 11, that guy asked Noan, "Were you in Bangkran ward?" Because this guy felt she looked a bit familiar, like had met her somewhere before. Seeing that little Najin had recovered from cancer, Noan also felt happy for that shocked guy. Then he gave the little girl a final gift. Even though the painting wasn't finished, Noan had already left. Just as she got into the car, Uncle Mansion from the matchmaking gang called, saying they might have found Noan's daughter in China. After 6 months, little brother Gusuk was also released, but he wasn't too happy. It was all because that snitch of a brother sitting behind him revealed his identity from before, which made him have to sit in jail for the past 6 months. Gusuk said, "Don't think buying me a bun will make me let it go," the younger brother immediately retorted. Gusuk was really wrong, so going to jail was right, you're really a pain in the ass. However, Solving this case also made Gusuk feel a bit empty because there was nothing left to do. He was also curious if Juno would continue being a police officer. After this mess, Juno has no face left to do that anymore, so Gusuk immediately invited him to work in the loan service. Saying this isn't a bad thing, hearing that, the younger brother immediately added, "You never help anyone, not bad is strange. My brother is really stupid and useless, but he is enthusiastic." However, about the money in Gusuk's motel room, Juno said it was empty after he got there. It couldn't possibly be Gusuk, but Juno hoped Gusuk was the one who took the money. Returning to his house, Juno suddenly noticed that the child was wrapped in the number 222 shirt with a small letter. Juno opened it in surprise, because inside was a congratulations card for the victory along with an account with a balance of 456 billion to verify the truth. Juno went to KATM to check the balance. Inside was indeed the number 456 billion. At the international airport, the person finder Park Mansion found family for a woman named Sabiak. The two were extremely happy to meet. But Park Mansion's work isn't over yet, as he is meeting Noan here for information about her daughter. Before she went to the airport to go to China to find her child, Park Mansion called Noan again, telling her to go to another airport. Someone would be waiting. Don't worry about anything. Just hope you find your child and bring her back. After reforming, Gusuk and his brother also renovated Guyan's motel. The outside is magnificent. The inside is dilapidated and simple, without a hint of love, to the room where the large sum of money was. But Gusuk doesn't know who took the boss money. It turns out that the money was taken by someone we all know. That is John Gill, the commander of the Squid Game. He brought a gift box to meet Guyan's daughter. She thought her dad was doing something again. Is he sending this gift box to see how his daughter is living? When John Gill said that inside were her father's relics, Gahan had passed away. Gerung then regained her composure, taking the gift box containing her father's relics. When she opened the gift box, inside was a shirt and a small letter. Inside was a card containing the rest of Guyan's money. When she wanted to say something to John Gill, it was too late since Gahan passed away. The Squid Game continues, but only the location has been changed to America. Recruiters continue to pop up. Those in debt still get caught up in the vortex of money and choose to participate in the Squid Game. It can be seen that no matter how hard they try, a small individual can never fight a large operating organization. However, the Squid Game organization can also be seen as an organization that eliminates useless people in the world. In a way, that's true. The movie ends here. Please subscribe to the channel to look forward to other attractive movies.